and welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Mr. Min Nguyen. No relation to Mr. D Nguyen, who teaches bio and physio. Also no relation to Miss Tan Lim Nguyen, who teaches bio as well. And no relation to Miss Lin Nguyen, who teaches math. We often get mixed up because, obviously, there's a number of us. But I teach math 1, 2, and 3. And my contact is nguyenmi at esuhsd.org. Definitely the best way to contact me. But if you prefer not to email me directly, then you could also email me. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a Piedmont Hills High School graduate. This is my 6th year teaching, although only my 4th year at Independence. And my basic philosophy for teaching is to provide a safe, welcoming environment that encourages student success, to meet students where they are, because I recognize that not all students have the same math background, and we just got to work with what we got, right? And to get students back or on track as best we can. And then to push students to build on their previous understanding, so that they do understand that all this stuff is related and built on previous math material. In Math 2, which can be considered intermediate algebra and geometry, in the first semester we study is algebra, and we study a lot on polynomials, including polynomial operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, factoring, graphing quadratic equations, which is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, or f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Solving quadratic equations, graphing them, factoring them, using the quadratic formula, right? Like just so many methods to work on quadratics. And then in the second semester, the second half of the year, we work on geometry, which includes a lot of triangle work, quadrilaterals, shapes with 4 sides, and then circles. So that's it for the material. That's a basic overview. For class, we meet always on Zoom. Tutorials are also always on Zoom by appointment. The time slots for appointments are Tuesday and Friday from 2:30 to 4, and Wednesday from 1 to 4. I'm always happy to work with students who want to get their questions answered, or want help on the homework or anything like that. I assign homework pretty much every day, which is 2 assignments a week, with the occasional exception for quiz days. So when we have a quiz, I tend not to assign homework for that day. Assignments are always on Big Ideas, as in online homework. So students log into their student portal and then click on Big Ideas. The time span the window for students to complete the homework is always until the following midnight. So if I assign it on Monday, then it's due on Tuesday before midnight. Or if I assign it on Friday, it's due by midnight Saturday. And the reason I do it like that is it always includes a tutorial session in that time frame for students to come and ask questions if they need help to finish the homework. Obviously, this year is different than any other year. And so some of the things I'm doing to adapt to distance learning is to have or make videos for the material. So whether I lecture on the material myself, or I just find someone else who has spoken on the material and provide a lecture for that. Some other things I'm doing are adapting my grading categories, which I'll go over in the next slide, and extending time for homework assignments for pretty much all students. So I generally make it a point to offer at least 15 minutes in class for students to get started on their homework, sometimes up to half an hour. That enables them to get the ball rolling and ask questions while they are face-to-face with me. Some advice or tips I have for students is to speak up and don't be afraid to ask for help. Everyone definitely needs help at some point or other, and the sooner they advocate for themselves, then the sooner they can get that help. For students that need to, the sooner they attend tutoring, the sooner they can get individual attention. I know that students may feel, shy or embarrassed to ask for help during class. And so, in a way that they can get help without having that feeling is to, attend tutoring, make an appointment, and get that help. As I mentioned, this is the current grading scale. And I mentioned current because I am working on adapting it or changing it. But the original grading scale was to Big Ideas, which is their homework, 10%, quizzes 20%, one-on-ones 20%, the final 20%, and tests 30%. And you can see all this if you go to Google Classroom, click classwork, and then click view your work. And then I actually realized that the one-on-ones where I would meet with a student and they would have explain, maybe 2 or 3 problems one-on-one would take about like 10 minutes per student. And so the scaling issue just didn't really work in terms of time. And also that I could just roll tests and quizzes into one because of us meeting only twice a week, then designating particular days to be test days would kind of take up a lot more class days than I would like. Grade updates on a weekly basis. I try to input either homework, quiz, or warm-up grades. So you can see the changes, like I said, on Google Classroom. Additional resources that I like to talk about for class are Khan Academy and Patrick JMT. So I definitely encourage students, if I don't provide a video myself, to use Google to their advantage. You can search, use the title of the section of whatever material we are studying that day, and just type it in with Khan Academy or Patrick JMT. Those are just really good YouTube or independent resources. Both of them, Khan Academy has its own website, and then Patrick JMT also has his own website, but he also publishes on YouTube. And then outside of academics, then for school, our school offers a ton of clubs. And if you follow one of these links, if you check out these 3 links, then you'll see the variety of clubs we have to offer. So that URL is tinyurl.com/IHS clubs day 1, 2, or 3. Those videos will provide you an overview of the clubs at school. I really encourage students to join a club. Some of the reasons I encourage, because for teens, definitely one big draw is the social draw, right? To either be with their friends, spend more time with their friends, or to make friends. It's also an opportunity for them to develop their interests, to find out the things that they like or don't like. And then lastly, very practically, it also gives students the chance to develop their organizational skills in terms of learning how to be a member of an organization, and hopefully also learn how to lead an organization at some level. So to wrap this all up, I just want to remind parents that we're all Sixers here. Even though this is a very big school, and at times it may feel overwhelming, a really big pro about having such a big school is that if you pursue your interests, whether they're academic or extracurricular, you'll find something that you can be a part of, right? There's just so many classes and there's so many clubs that if you kind of put in the legwork, so to speak, then students can have a place to feel like they belong here. So thanks for tuning in. And if you have any concerns or questions, please let me know by writing me an email.